Welcome to your daily writing habit, episode number 787. If you are writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing your book but you need some help getting it done, you are in the right place. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh. If you're looking for me online, look for Christine Inc., like that stuff we write with. Each day, I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 19 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that 3 things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they can turn someone who barely maybe sort of kind of sees themselves maybe as a writer into a published book author. Those 3 things are, and the 3 pillars here on the show, writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. There will never be a perfect time to do something that stretches you. That's true whether you are starting a business, having a child, changing careers, or wrestling with any number of challenges. That's not a license to be reckless and never think things through, but at some point, you have to embrace the uncertainty, because it is the only path forward. If you were ready for it, it wouldn't be growth. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, that quote comes from. Really fantastic quote there. Hope you listen to that one again and think about it. And by the way, I always put the quote of the day in the show notes so you can visually look at them and copy them. And that's a particularly strong one for me. And with that, once again, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. And welcome to Friday Fact Day, where every Friday I offer up a fact about something relevant to authors or books or writing, and then find a way to apply it to your writing. Here is today's Friday fact, and like today's quote, it is about something absolutely critical to writing and finishing a book. You guessed it, habits. So here's today's fact from a 2013 volume of the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, and I quote, familiar cues in performance contexts direct behavior when people are too distracted or too tired to think of an appropriate response. Or, paraphrased by David Neal, PhD, a researcher connected to the aforementioned study, he paraphrased, when people are maxed out, they don't have a lot of willpower left over to make effortful decisions, and they resort to acting out of habit, often in response to context cues. So in other words, when we're stressed out, we go on autopilot. That's the simplest way to break that down. Probably not earth-shattering information, right? But here's a question. How can you set up this human function to your advantage, this natural function of your brain of when we're stressed out, we go on autopilot? How can you turn this into an advantage as an author? And how can you do this before the fact? How can you program your writing habit so deeply into your brain that when stressful times hit, before you even realize it, you're on autopilot, headed into the writing cave? How can you establish writing as one of your go-to coping mechanisms? Now, for those of you at the beginning of your author journey working very diligently to carve out your writing habit, this might be an almost absurd thought to you. You might be at the point where you see writing as a stressor, an obstacle, a thing you are constantly trying to find time to do in the midst of your hectic life. But just know this. If you commit to following habitsology, reading books like Atomic Habits by James Clear, which I quoted as our quote of the day, and yes, habitsology is probably a made-up word. I'll let me know. Chime in Ink Authors on Facebook if habitsology is a made-up word, but I like it because it's accurate. The more you commit to setting, practicing, and mastering your writing habits, the closer you will get to the day when there is stress or chaos in your life, and shockingly enough, you go on autopilot. Like a robot, you find yourself turning to writing as a coping mechanism, and you do this purely out of habit. So keep fighting the good fight, keep practicing, keep working at it. You will get there. You've got this. And as always, thanks for listening to my version of habitsology here on the show every day. Thank you for joining me here on your daily writing habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And like I said, please drop by my Ink Authors group on Facebook. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Tell me about your habits. Tell me where you are in your habits journey and what challenges you have. Just tell me anything you want about books and writing and being an author. And while you're there, you can get motivation, accountability, book writing, publishing, resources, and more. Until tomorrow, happy writing.